So thank you for coming to Tricky Bidness. I appreciate it. Nice to see everybody. The movie started in 2009. I was taking care of my mom who had dementia and memory loss. And I was living in the town of Arcata. I'd lived in that area for about 20 years and was kind of used to the marijuana scene there. But being home with my mom, so much, I saw what was going on in the neighborhood. And across the street from me on this cul-de-sac, there were 3 houses, and they were all involved in the drug business in some way. So I said, this is really distinctly different, because we'd always known people who grew up in the hills, and growing was part of the culture, but it had never been in the city like that before. So I called my friend and said, we need to make a documentary film about this. There's something really unusual going on. And so we did most of our interviews in 2009, and we finished the movie in 2013. It's still very much an open question, and as long as the federal government has it as a felony Schedule 1 restriction, as long as it's a patchwork of laws,
right.
Pot is still going to be very expensive, and it'll be worth taking the risks and worth growing it, and the criminality will stay in it.
Yeah.
So it's up to the community how they want to deal with it, but I would kind of like to see a more evening out of the laws across the nation. The people who are growing out in the woods, they're really tucked away far. They run pumps into the streams, and they suck the water out of the creeks and streams. So it's actually drying up the rivers right now. So we have one river that's completely dry by the time it gets down to the coast. So salmon and fish and they just killed the river, And the other problem is that they run diesel generators outdoors, and that seeks into the water table. So most people are in some kind of wells out there, and their wells are getting polluted. And and it's trash, and there's some rodenticide they use to protect the plants, because the plants are delicious to rats and to deers. So they put this poison around, and then the poison gets into other wildlife and kills them. So it's at this point, it's like the abuses of the growing community. Some of the growers, not all, some growers are very respectful and very good, and should be honored like a wine family. But some are really taking advantage of it and doing really bad environmental things. There's definitely money in the community, and if the pot money goes out, it's going to be difficult, but we have lots of different industries that we do there. So we have a university. We have a lot of state workers, but we also we make Humboldt Fog cheese, which is a pretty amazing product. We've got great breweries. We do sports equipment. We have oysters. I mean, it's not going to be you suck $5 billion out of an economy, it's going to hurt it. But we also, if pot is legalized, we're still going to have the finest growers. There's going to be. They make beautiful marijuana up there. And if you want the best marijuana, you go to Humboldt County, and it's just going to be like going to Bordeaux. It is just the best place to grow pot. So there are gun battles, and there are murders, and it's not a good scene. People disappear, but the cartel thing. I think Humboldt County's been pretty good about keeping Mexican cartels out, but there are definite grows that are, and I'm just saying Mexicans, drug cartels, right? But there are grows that are foreign nationals that are the ones who are doing the grunt work, but it's not just South America or Central America or Mexico. We have like this big Bulgarian marijuana growers. Just kind of that's a little bit exotic, but so different groups get the hang of it, and they come up there and they do these things, and I was telling the gentleman outside that a kid who hasn't graduated from high school, who is running a fairly successful grow, is making 125, 150 up a year off of running a crop of marijuana. A lot of businesses that are dependent on it, not just the dispensaries, but the the garden supply stores, and these popped up all over Humboldt County with indoor gardening for indoor tomatoes. So we probably have the finest indoor tomatoes in the world, because there are like these wonderful garden stores, and you go in and they will very studiously never say the word marijuana. They will show you the fertilizer, they'll show the lighting, they'll show the hydroponics, they'll explain what you can do and where, how big your canopy can be. So right now it's a crazy mixed up situation, and people are really taking advantage of it and making money. And
kind of like a Wild West thing.
it is. It's like being Levi, and making the jeans for the people who did the gold rush. It's,
Well, Illinois is kind of just starting with the medical marijuana. They approved everything, and so we don't know where it's going to start going.
I think they don't know what's going to hit them.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think they're going into this trying to learn from what did Colorado do and all this, and see if they can do it.
I think most people have no idea about what a grow house is. And so that's one of the reasons I really wanted to bring it to Illinois, because I thought other places don't have the familiarity with this.
Right.
And I really want to see fire departments have a chance to see it. Because there's going to be a fire department somewhere that runs into one of these houses.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy situation.
Yeah.
And it's tricky business.
Right.
A lot of these people were people we knew personally, were friends of ours.
I see.
And Kathy I've known for like 30 years, and the woman I made the film with went to high school with her.
Okay.
So that's one of the things is everybody had sort of known each other or worked with each other. And my partner in the film was on the city council, and she was a city planner in Arcata. So she'd actually worked with people in City Hall.
Yeah.
So whereas they'd been talking a lot to ABC and NBC and CNN, and they were like, when Lynn sat down, they're like, now they're talking to Lynn. So they were just very frank and very open, and they have said to me since, those are the best interviews we gave because we trusted you.
Yeah.
And Kathy is a wonderful person, and she's got a great, just a great person, and she just was very willing to be open about this. For years I was a furniture maker. I'm not a filmmaker.
Which is tougher?
Well, they're very similar.
Okay.
The furniture making actually will take your finger. I noticed that in filmmaking I wasn't afraid of that. But
we'll do a Q&A on furniture next.
it's actually, with the furniture you have a lot of little pieces and you put it together and you have kind of a vision.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with a movie.
That's true.
With a movie you got a lot of little pieces and you have a vision which you hope, and you don't get to see it all put together until the very end. So that was similar. All right. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
You're a good questioner.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Do you have an underlying purpose with value attached to it of what you wanted to come out of the film, besides just illustrating the issues that are going on?
Well, really, this all started, because I was taking care of my mom. I was at home. She had dementia and memory loss. I couldn't leave her alone for more than 2 hours at a time. So even though I'd never made a movie before, I would kind of, give her breakfast and then I'd go on the internet and try to figure out how to make a documentary. Mm-hmm. So it was like step by step. I had to learn about sound and about the camera and about editing, and it was part of my purpose in doing this movie was having something that was not about caregiving, that I could look forward to in the end and say, here's this project that I'm working on. Because when you have somebody who does 24-hour care, it can take up a lot of your life. So it was really wonderful to have something at the end, from this process. But as far as the content of the movie, I really want people to have information so that they can discuss what's going on with the world of marijuana legalization intelligently. It's a micro version of what's going on in the macro. So we all care about our local communities, and we care about the country. Mm-hmm. So as long as you have this kind of messed up patchwork of laws, it's not a good situation. So for anybody. So okay. And thank you, Naperville Film Festival. Tricky Business says thank you.